next thing we're going to talk about are the electronics. This right here is just a generic ESC that I got off of Amazon. It's called a Chardsea 320 amp ESC, but I don't know how true that statement is, just because it's a knockoff and it's cheap. But it fit within my budget for this build. I found out about the competition. Actually, I found out that Florida even had robot competitions about 2 months ago, and it's something I've always wanted to do since 2002, but any place I lived before, we've never had that available. So I was pretty excited to find out they did this. So of course I signed up for the next event, which is Makers Faire Orlando 2018. But this speed controller here can be bought on Amazon for $18. So my expectation for this speed controller is it's going to burn up on me, but it's going to get me going, it's going to get me into competition, and I'll cross my fingers and hope for the best. But I'm going to have 2 of these, one for each drive motor, and then I've got this other one, which I've done my research on it. I thought it was 200 amp, but if you can read that on the case, it's a brushless ESC rated for 80 amps, but it's a generic also, and it actually came with that motor, and I think I got them both for around $30 or something like that. So same expectation as from the others. It'll probably burn up, but hopefully I'll have a little bit of fun before it does. So now I'm just going to try to arrange this stuff and see what my layout's going to be inside this robot. I'm kind of thinking about planning it this way right here. Just to keep it simple. I have a speed controller by each of the, near the motor that it's going to be controlling, and then I'm going to use this 4S LiPo battery from one of my drones. I'm going to just install it about right here, and then I'll probably take the speed controller for the weapon. I want to try to keep it within range of these wires so I don't have to do more splicing and soldering. So if that's going to sit here, I'll probably just end up placing it over here. Kind of have it on this one side. But either way, I'm either going to have to extend the connection wires here, or I'm going to have to extend the power wires. But I guess 2 is better than 3, so I'll just go that route. I'll extend the power. So what I'm going to use to hold all this down is just Velcro strips. It's an industrial grade. It sticks really well. But I'm thinking that on top of Velcro, I may actually drill holes in the chassis and add a tie strap on top of that, because if you've ever been to one of these robot competitions, these things really get knocked around and thrown around. So you want to make sure everything's nice and tight and secure. And just another attribute of the Velcro is it'll hold it well, but it also provides just a little bit of padding between the chassis and the electronic. Whenever I did my first-person view racing drones, that's what I would use to just reduce the vibration on the flight controller, so it didn't interfere with the gyroscope or any of that stuff too much. So it helps in that way also. on these speed controllers, you'll notice that they have 4 wires other than the power connector coming out. 2 reds, 2 blacks. This is designed so you can run 2 motors on your RC car at the same time. So what I'm going to do, and I don't know if it's necessary, I don't think it is, but I'm just going to go ahead and put the 2 reds together, put the 2 blacks together, just in case for some reason on the inside I'm only getting, you know, half the amperage or voltage through this one and half through this pair. I want to make sure I'm getting everything, so I'm just going to combine them. Plus I don't want to just cut them off in case I ever decided to use a speed controller in a different way. Like say if I went with a 4-wheel drive robot, I could have this one actually run the 2 motors on this side and so on and so forth. So that's how I'm going to do it. And alright everybody, here it is in all its glory. You get a rough idea what it's going to look like, how the weapon's going to spin. Not a lot of ground clearance, but I've got the active wedges on the front. These should hopefully float right above on the floor and get under anybody else's wedges trying to get me from that side. It's going to be fighting in the 15-pound weight class at Makers Faire Orlando 2018 for its rookie fight. Like I said, not great expectation. I'm just going to have fun and learn what I need to do to get better and actually be more competitive. We'll see how it goes. As far as the overall design of the robot, you can see the wheels stick out of the top. That's so in case it gets inverted, it can run in either direction. That was the whole point of putting the mounting blocks with the bar on the weapon. That way, if I'm running and this thing gets flipped, like so, I'm still going to be able to run and drive. Now my wedges, they're not going to do any good, but at least I won't be out of it. I can still drive around and try to attack my opponent, but hopefully I don't get flipped over. But probably will. That tends to happen in these events. A lot of wedges, a lot of titanium, a lot of more expensive electronics and parts than what I put into this. But like I said, this is get my feet wet and see what I really need, and have a good time. My two sons are fighting in the 1 pound ant weight class, so I've been building their bots as well. I'll probably just do a video of their robots on my family channel. And as far as this one goes, this is pretty much it. I'll pop a couple screws out here, let you see how the inside turned out. And here it is, the inside in all its glory. Got my two motors, got my battery, which I'm probably going to 3D print me a battery box to contain that battery, just so it doesn't get banged around. Lithium batteries getting knocked around is not a good thing because they tend to catch on fire. Got my two drive speed controls mounted. Going to mount my radio over here, and this is going to be my power link, the safety switch to deactivate the robot. And then on the front on this side I have the weapon ESC. So, not beautiful, but it'll be functional and it should be a good time. So that's going to be it for my build on my 15-pound combat robot. This was meant to be more of just an overview, just to introduce the robot. By the way, I have given him a name. He's going to be called Junkyard Dog Jr. because I like to use junk parts, repurposed stuff. And the reason why I'm calling him Junior is I'm hoping for Makers Faire Orlando next year, I'll be fighting in the 220-pound class with the actual Junkyard Dog. And I'm thinking that might actually be a hammer bot or a spike bot, but we'll see how that goes. So, like I said, this is just an overview of my robot. If you have any questions or suggestions, just leave a comment. And you know, you might see something that I'm messing up and might need to fix. And if you want to know how I did something or how I made something, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And after the fights, they're going to be November 10th and 11th. I will actually have video footage of the fights, and I will do a post-fight damage report, and I will also, you know, give you the results and show you the footage of the fights and how they went, and what went right and what went wrong. So, thank you again for watching Steve TV.